I know my rights. I know the law. I study law. So in order for you to request and need my information, identification, you must have a suspicion of what? You must have a suspicion of crime. What is the crime that you are suspecting me of? So when I ask questions, simple questions, as public employees, because to be quite honest, I'm military, right? I know my rights. I know the law. I study law. So I'm just trying to make sure. So in order for you to request and need my information, identification, you must have a suspicion of what? You have to have something.
We have a call. Somebody called in and said, should I give us the right to ID?
A suspicion of a crime. You must have a suspicion of a crime. What is the crime that you are suspecting me of?
Again, she didn't elaborate. She said you're acting.
So you have no crime that you're suspecting me of, but you still want me to identify myself. Investigation for what? Because you have to have some kind of crime to investigate, right?
No.
So you just investigate people? You pick people out at random?
Yes.
You pick people out at random and just tell them to present ID?
Again, I just told you it's random.
You just told me you don't have you have suspicion, but you can't tell me what.
Somebody else called. I told you a minute ago. I said we didn't pick you up randomly.
Suspicion of what crime?
She wanted to know. She didn't say what it was. She said you were acting suspicious. Okay.
I've been in here for hours. Who can say I'm acting suspicious when I've been in here for literally for hours? So again, I would like to know what crime. I would like to know what crime I'm suspected of, because you have to have a suspicion of some kind of crime to ask for evidence for my identification.
No, it doesn't have to be a crime.
This is actually a free country. That's the whole Nazi thing of freedom papers. We don't do freedom papers in the United States. I would like to know what crime, because I don't do freedom papers.
You're making this really worth it.
I'm just trying to make sure that my rights are not violated.
They're not being violated.
So suspicion of what crime?
The camera rolls inside a quiet gym when officers approach a man after a call about a suspicious person, but the encounter quickly shifts as he calmly asserts his rights, explaining that the law requires reasonable suspicion of a crime before identification can be demanded again. And again, he asks one simple question: what crime am I suspected of, while officers offer only vague claims of an investigation and refuse to name any offense, insisting he must comply anyway. Remains composed, records everything, and stands his ground, reminding them that this is a free country and rights are not suspended by vague suspicion until the pressure fades, the truth comes out, and officers admit he is not wanted for anything and walk away, proving that knowledge, and accountability can change the outcome.
You don't give me out here now. We could be gone by now.
All I want to know is suspicion of what crime. It's a simple question. It's a simple question.
You don't give me out here.
I would like, if I'm going to give you, and that you're requesting ID, because you can't demand, you can only request as a public servant.
And I'm asking.
Yes, and I'm asking you so I can properly give you identification. What crime are you suspecting me of?
Again, there's not necessarily a crime here. We're trying to ID you because we have a call on you. That's short and to the sweet. That's it. Short and to the point. That's it.
So
we have other things we need to be doing, man. Sitting here arguing with you, going over.
And I know this, so why?
And all that stuff. You have warrants.
No, why would I have warrants? I'm here. I'm in the gym working out.
Then we could be going, man. We got other stuff to do.
Do you know how what you are supposed to do as a constitutional person, because you're supposed to hold up constitutional rights, right? That's your job. Yeah. Hold the Constitution.
And again,
the Constitution literally says there must be suspicion of a crime. And I would like to just know what crime. That's all I asked. And you can't even articulate clearly what crime there is, which you must do. I
never said there was a crime.
So,
I said we have the right to investigate. When people call in, we have the right to investigate what may or may not be.
So
to me, it don't look like there's anything wrong.
So I would just like to know, so if I did not have any ID on me, what would you do then?
We try to figure out a way to ID.
And how would you go about that purpose?
Because I already knew you. I already knew you.
If you already know who I am, then why are you asking for identification?
Well, I have no idea who you are.
Oh, so you know who I am.
Inside the gym, the tension tightens with every calm question. He explains that ID can be requested, not demanded, and that compliance requires one missing piece. A clearly stated crime. Officers say there isn't necessarily a crime, only a call, and a right to investigate. He doesn't argue, he clarifies if there's no crime, why the ID if they already know who he is. We ask again, the answers shift, the justification weakens, still recording, still composite, reminds them of their constitutional duty and the limits of Authority, what begins as a routine complaint, turns into a lesson in accountability, exposing how easily rights can be tested when suspicion has no foundation.
You're still going to ask me for identification.
I said I do who you are.
No, you said you know who I am. I have it on recording. You said I know who I am. I know you know who I am, right?
I said I have no idea who you are.
So if you know who I am, like you stated, firstly, why are you asking me for identification? I'm just trying to make sure my rights aren't violated. And right now I have this going live on Periscope because I'm trying to make sure that everyone knows that what's going on here.
That's fine. And you're not being violated. We're asking you for your ID, man. You can't provide your ID. You think you're being violated, then do what you gotta do. All right? We have a job to do. Somebody called a complaint on you. So again, we weren't the ones, we don't know the details, we haven't talked to you yet. All right? And again, you're making it way worse than it is, so you get some
there is nothing around here. There's nothing around here. This is a warehouse building, right? So no one can even see my car from here. So I'm trying to understand who could possibly call you for violation or complaint. So where did you get this complaint from? Because there's nothing around.
No,
this is not a resident. This is a commercial area. Where is there a building around or any kind of housing where someone could see my car well enough?
I can see your house.
Suspicious.
From one street over.
Is your first name Leroy?
I go by Leroy.
Leroy. Last name Grant.
Sometimes I go by Grant or another name, which is my married name.
Okay.
And you already said you know who I am. So I'm trying to figure out if you know who I am. You're saying you're calling about a suspicion. No, you said it's on recording that you already know who I am. So I'm just trying to make sure that we got everything cut and there.
I said we have no idea who you are.
I'm assuming you came in here on your own. You have a password code in order to get in.
This is the only way you can get in is a passcode.
No, because he let me in, and I don't have a passcode.
They're not allowed to do that.
The encounter drags on inside an empty warehouse gym where the explanation keeps changing and the answers never fully arrive. He points out the obvious: this is a commercial Arano houses nearby, no clear way anyone could even complain, yet officers still can't explain who called or why names are mentioned. Familiarity is implied, then walked back. They say they have an idea who he is, but still ask for ID, still recording, still composite. Presses for clarity, reminding them that authority requires purpose, not guesses. He isn't detained yet. His workout is interrupted. In the end, nothing unlawful is found, nothing articulated, and the silence between questions becomes the loudest proof of all.
If you see the signs out front, it says you're not allowed to buzz people in. And there's nobody here besides the two of us. And he came in after me, if you can ask him. So,
Well, that's all I was asking you, sir.
okay, I'm just making sure you know. And you're Caroline County, correct?
Yep.
Is this Caroline County?
Yes.
I thought this was Dorchester.
I was in Dorchester.
Dorchester County.
I was in Dorchester.
I swear Dorchester.
Caroline.
Oh, it's part of Carolina? Okay.
Yep.
So you know all my information, know everything about me as you stated. What is the purpose of this? This is what I'm trying to figure out. And you still haven't articulated clearly in understandable fashion why you're here talking to me. You only said you have a report from someone about something that you can't articulate, which has to be a crime in order for you to even be here, or serving me a warrant if you actually want my identification, which you must have in order for me to actually have to give you identification.
No, that's in order for you to be detained. We're not detaining you.
You're stopping me from more workout. That's detaining me.
I never said you stop.
So I can continue working out?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to make sure this stays right here.
That's fine. You like this, man? Yeah.
Is it? So that's what you think?
Is that what I think?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they told me.
Who told you that?
NBA.
The NBA told you that. And when did they tell you that? When did they tell you that?
No, sorry, bro.
Just a second ago. Okay.
No, just left, bro.
And how did you see my license plate?
The conversation takes another turn when officers claim a database check shows a suspended licensee statement that immediately raises more questions than answers. He calmly challenges IT, explaining he recently obtained a valid Maryland license and asking for one simple detail, the license number. They supposedly confirmed that detail never comes. The explanation shifts, again vague references to court compliance and desk checks. Replacing clear facts, still composite points out the contradiction, exposing how easily authority leans on unverified information. As the claim collapses, the tone softens, the encounter winds down, handshakes replace pressure, and what remains isn't a violation or an arrest, but a reminder that confidency, documentation, and questioning assumptions can turn confusion into clarity.
Yeah, it's on the car.
So you were looking for my license plate?
Yeah, the description of the car, yeah.
Listen, you're not wanted, everything's clear as far as our checks. However, if they come back that you have a suspended license, okay, fair to comply with the courts. All right.
That's kind of interesting because a month ago I went to the MVA and got a Maryland license because I didn't have one.
Just confirmed it, you are suspended.
With what court did you confirm that with?
It just says fair to comply with the courts.
So can I ask, just because you obviously have all my information, what license number do you have?
It's not a license, that's your vehicle out there.
What license number do you have?
Sir, I'm trying to explain that to you. Is that your white car out there?
You said I have a suspended license, correct?
We ran a
Okay.
check. You're the primary owner. We ran a check of that name. You said your name is Leroy Grant. We ran that. They confirmed that your license is suspended, okay?
And what license number do you have, since you said you confirmed
I
it?
don't have a license number.
So you confirmed it without having actually a license number to confirm?
No, we confirmed it through our dispatch.
You confirmed it without having a license number to confirm?
We can do it by your name today, bro. We can do it by your name today, bro.
Okay.
Okay. But you're good, man? Where you work out?
You have a nice day.
It's all right.
I don't drive.
Okay, good.
I travel. You should know the difference in law. This law is a great thing. It teaches you stuff.
You're traveling?
Actually, yes, it does. It's called Supreme Court ruling. You should look it up. I have some documents in the car if you want to see them. I can show you the paperwork if you want to see it. You don't want to see the paperwork? I got the paperwork with the law on it. I keep it with me at all times. You don't want to see the paperwork? I can show you the law. You don't got to leave. You said you wanted to talk to me. I can show you something. Oh, you don't want to talk now? Then Matt.